Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm sure you guys are all here for the Nintendo Switch that does not turn on. And something pretty cool, this Switch actually went to a local repair shop in this area. I found out that a lot of repair shops, they'll say, we do HDMI ports and we'll change USB-C ports, but they'll say, we don't fix motherboards. And this was the case of this situation. They attempted to try to fix it, it wasn't turning on, no power. They thought maybe it's the USB-C port, and it wasn't. So this has been to another shop and has been apart, but how apart, I don't know. I won't know until I get into it. But let's go into the diagnosing part of the Switch. So I always use a USB amp meter, and I always plug it into the bottom of the Switch with the original Switch charger, and it will tell me what the Switch is doing. So the Switch is charging at 5 volts, and it says 0.10 amps. That's 100 milliamps. Now, this is not normal. The Switch should immediately turn to 15 volts. Now, let's double check and see if it charges in the other direction. Okay, so it does do this exact same thing. 5 volts at 0.1, that's a 0.11 amps, so 110 milliamps. So in my past experience, the Nintendo Switch charging at 5 volts and not 15 volts is typically the M92 chip. So I'm gonna get this down to the motherboard and we're gonna go to the microscope and have a look at the board. All right, here's the motherboard. Let's go to the microscope and have a look.
Hey Chase.
What?
You're not gonna be able to fix that, man.
Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Whatever, dude.
Dude, just go and do what you do best and sit around and be lazy. I don't even know why we even hired him. All right, so let's take a look at the board here. Here's the M92 chip. This is the chip responsible for allowing the Switch to charge at 15 volts. So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually put our multimeter, and I have 2 multimeter probes here. We're putting it in continuity mode, where when you touch the 2 probes together, they beep. So I'm going to put 1 probe on ground and we're going to test a couple of points to see if they are faulty or not. Now this does not determine the fault because this chip could still be faulty even though these points are not shorted to ground. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is test this point here. Nothing. This one. Nothing. This one. This. Oh, we have a dead short here. Perfect. That is a number 1 sign of this chip being bad. If there's a short here on this capacitor. Let's check this one. This one's also shorted. So if these 3 caps are shorted, or 1 or 2 of them, it doesn't matter. If any one of these caps are shorted, it is blown. So let's test here, and here, and here. So those capacitors are like the number 1 caps to check when you are testing to see if this chip is faulty. All right, so I used some hot air and I removed our M92 chip. So let's check and see if we have continuity to ground on this capacitor. All right, so we want no beep. And no beep, and no beep on that one. See, Thug Life Chase, I told you, I'm gonna get this board working. So here's our brand spanking new M92 T36 chip. So I'm going to put some flux on the board here. It's gonna help that solder to flow, you already know. All right, while the chip is heating up here and is ready to go, we'll give it a little nudge. Just like that, our chip is good to go. Hey, could you hit that like button real quick for me? We're gonna go ahead and clear this area up with isopropyl alcohol and a brush. Clear all the flux away. Maybe we'll use a little bit of a Q-tip here too to just try to dry the board and get it nice and good. This chip looks centered perfectly and better than factory. All right guys, I have the Switch back together enough to test. Let's go ahead and plug in the USB amp meter and the charger and see what it does. 15 volts, yeah, there we go. Battery charging symbol and 0.17 amps, that is normal. As you know before, we only had 5 volts. Now we have 15 and the battery charging symbol. Thug Life Chase, I told you we would get it working.
Wow. I did not expect you to get that working.
You know what, Chase? I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I'm glad you got it working. Guys, remember, let's always encourage everyone. You never truly know who you could be affecting. And while you're here, why don't you subscribe?